What's happening, guys? It's Boxing Lowdown and I'm back here with another video. Now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like and I'll happily get back to you. Now, wow. What did you guys think of that then? This is my post-fight reaction to Dillian Whyte against Alexander Povetkin, week 4 of fight camp. I'll also be giving my thoughts on the rematch between Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon. Now, let's just go straight on to the main event, man. Alexander Povetkin, huge congratulations to him, knocking out Dillian Whyte in the 5th round with a beautiful uppercut after it seemed like Dillian Whyte was on his way to winning by stoppage. Actually, he was well on his way to winning the fight. Dillian Whyte performed brilliantly in the opening rounds. Let's talk about it. It started off the fight very well, pretty much of a cagey opening round between the two, and Dillian Whyte then started to put his foot on the gas a little bit. He was pumping out a great jab. You know, his jab was busting up Povetkin a little bit there, and the body work as well. He was looking very good, Dillian Whyte, very patient, very measured. And going into this fight, before I continue on with my reaction, going into the fight, I did say that I'd like to see Whyte, you know, get in there and kind of mix it up with Povetkin and kind of bully him, kind of show him his age. But he wasn't doing that, to be fair, and he was doing very well. He was jabbing Povetkin from the outside. He was like roughing him up on the inside of the body work. But, you know, it was overall a measured and very good performance from Dillian Whyte up until the loss. Now, going into the 4th round, Dillian Whyte, he landed the great counter left hook, which put Povetkin down. And, you know, it was on the ear, I think it was on got Povetkin's equilibrium all over the place. And he dropped on the floor then. And then another shot from Dillian Whyte put Povetkin down. And then literally everyone was thinking, oh, it's just a matter of time now. My phone was going off. People were like, yeah, Dillian Whyte's got this next round. I was thinking, yeah, I can't see Povetkin lasting too long. Because when you look at it at the end of the 4th round, Povetkin kind of looked like he was done. You know, he looked like he wanted to get out of it. That's what it looked like to me. And then going into the 5th, now Dillian Whyte, again, very measured with what he was doing. I mean, he didn't go straight for the knockout after he put Povetkin down in the 4th, but you know, Povetkin did very well. He showed his, you know, maturity. He showed his ring craft, his ring experience, you know, and in the 5th, he caught Dillian Whyte with a beautiful left uppercut, you know, short on the inside, beautiful. Dillian Whyte held his feet and was vulnerable to that uppercut, and Povetkin found it, and it literally put Whyte on his back. Now, he was actually sprawled out on the canvas, Dillian Whyte, and that was it. That was all she wrote. Povetkin literally coming back from the dead in that fight to knock Dillian Whyte out. Now, what does that say? You know, I mean, Dillian Whyte he's been #1 mandatory for however many days. I mean, he was #1 WBC #1 contender for over 1,000 days. And yeah, I mean, this is a massive setback in his career. You know, it was always a risk going up against Povetkin because although he's old, although he's like 40 years old, the guy has still got incredible experience behind him. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's fought the very best, and you know he's mixed it up in the elite level for a long time now. Alexander Povetkin. I said going into the fight that he was a better technical fighter than Dillian Whyte. And if he had anything left, I thought that the early rounds were going to be dangerous. And pretty much that's what happened, man. I mean, Dillian Whyte got caught and that's all she wrote. Now, there is a rematch clause inserted in the contract. Dillian Whyte will be able to have an immediate rematch with Alexander Povetkin, and you know that he's going to take it. I mean, he's all over it. He's already gate crashed Eddie Hearn's interview, and he said he wanted the rematch for December, and Eddie Hearn confirmed that's all a go. So, although it's a massive setback in Dillian Whyte's career, he does have the opportunity to put it right when they meet again, which will probably be in December now. So let's see what happens, man. It was inserted in the clause. So yeah, Povetkin, although he defeated Whyte, Eddie Hearn confirmed that it doesn't grant him an immediate shot at the winner of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3, something that Dillian Whyte would have had if he was to knock out Povetkin, and that's because he's been waiting so long for the shot. But with Povetkin winning now, although he is officially the WBC #1 mandatory contender, he won't be able to have the luxury of, you know, having to start negotiations straight after Wilder Fury 3. He'll have to wait a little bit longer, and he'll have to defeat Dillian Whyte in a rematch. So there's still a lot of, you know, issues to be resolved and smoothed out. But, you know, what a beautiful uppercut from Povetkin, man. This is heavyweight boxing, isn't it? This is why we love the sport. And yeah, Whyte was well on his way to winning, but that left uppercut. And Whyte has been proven vulnerable to catch these uppercuts, man. If you saw what happened in the AJ fight, you know, it was an uppercut that took him out there, and then it was an uppercut here from Povetkin that took him out. So again, so yeah, what does that tell you? I mean, maybe Whyte needs to work on that. What do you guys think about, obviously he left Mark Tibbs, and this is the first fight since he's been without Mark Tibbs. I mean, I know he's worked with Xavier Miller for a long time, so this is no disrespect to him, but do you think that leaving Mark Tibbs may have caused an impact on Dillian Whyte? Do you think that maybe Mark Tibbs would have told Dillian Whyte to put the foot on the gas a bit more when he had Povetkin out of there in the fourth? There wasn't a lot of time left for Dillian Whyte to finish Povetkin off, but still, maybe going into the fifth, Mark Tibbs might have told him to go for it. I don't know. Who knows, man? But did that have an effect or not? Maybe not. It was a great shot at the end of the day, and it would have taken a lot of people out. So you got to give Povetkin credit for finding that left uppercut in the midst of adversity. So I want you guys to answer me that question as well about Mark Tibbs, as well as the uppercut that finished Dillian Whyte off. And how demoralising is it for Dillian Whyte now, man? I mean, he's been waiting for so long to get this shot at Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder. He's been calling them out. He's taken this WBC route. He's been pursuing it for so long. I mean, he's took on some tough challenges on the way, and you got to give him credit for that, man. He's taken on likes of Oscar Rivas, Joseph Parker. He knocked out Lucas Brown. He's been fighting like regularly, and he's been trying to keep active, and he's been fighting difficult competition as well. Povetkin, although he's 40, is no mug, as we saw last night. So yeah, it's a massive setback for Dillian Whyte. And how demoralising is it for him, for waiting this long and taking on all these challenges, and then at the final hurdle getting knocked out by Povetkin. So he does have the chance to pull it right, and he will be able to do that in December. But there will be demons going into that rematch, with Povetkin. He always had respect for him, but when he goes into that rematch with him, I mean, he's going to have even more, because he was dominating that fight up until the knockout. So yeah, man, some soul searching for Dillian Whyte, and it was a tremendous shot from Povetkin, man. Before I end it, let me just give him the credit he needs. The guy's 40 years old. People thought he was done. I mean, against Michael Hunter, he looked his age, and he was looking his age very much so in this fight with Dillian Whyte. He was looking off the pace. He wasn't looking the same menacing, fighter that he was before. I thought he wasn't using as much slips as he used to do, but the left uppercut was a thing of beauty, man, and it took Dillian Whyte out. So let me know your thoughts anyway to the fight, man. Drop me your post-fight reaction, how you saw it. What do you think should be next for Dillian Whyte? And also Povetkin as well. I mean, let me know your thoughts on that. But tremendous main event to finish off Fight Camp, man. I really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed the co-main event as well between Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon. Another all-out action brawl, man. And look, I thought Katie Taylor would win, but I thought that she would have to do it by boxing on the outside and being smart. I said if she got dragged into another war, then it's not going to be in her favour, and I'll favour Persoon. And she did get dragged into another war. I mean, she started off very well in the early rounds, but Persoon caught up with her, and then it ended up being another brawl, just like the first fight. And if I'm being honest, guys, I thought Persoon won the second fight as well. I had her winning this probably by 1 or 2 rounds, and the decision went to Katie Taylor. And listen, I'm not going to argue too much for anyone that thought Katie Taylor did enough to win that fight. It was a close fight, this rematch. But the 98-93 scorecard from that judge was just absolutely disgraceful, man. I just literally, it left a bad taste in my mouth, because if you saw the effort that Persoon put in that fight, what she was doing, just constantly going forward, relentless pressure, man. And she really had Katie Taylor on the ropes, especially in round 8, I think. I think she really had her, she was giving her a beating in that round. And, to put in all that effort for that judge to then come out and have a 98-93 scorecard in favour of Taylor, whether you had Katie Taylor winning or not, that was absolutely ridiculous, man. And that is the sort of thing that puts people off boxing. But away from that, the result, even though I had Persoon winning, I'm not going to argue too much for those that had Katie Taylor winning. It was that kind of fight. I don't really want to take any credit away from her. I thought she did very well, but in my personal opinion, I thought Persoon did enough to win. But then when you see the post-fight interview, Persoon, she seemed quite comfortable with it. I mean, obviously she wasn't happy, but she definitely didn't, put up as much resistance as she did after the first fight. She was totally upset about that. After the second fight now, last night, she was more content with it. She accepted the result, and she said, she should have done better. So, with her thinking like that, maybe I need to watch the fight again and make my decision. But watching it live, first time out, I thought Persoon did enough to win. But I'm interested to hear you guys' opinions on that as well, and how you saw it. How did you score the fight as well? I mean, there were people that thought Persoon won it, looking on Twitter, and there were people that thought Taylor won it. So it was that kind of fight. And I think at this point, man, we just need to give credit to both fighters for really putting it out there, man. I mean, they've done a lot for the sport with those 2 fights, and women's boxing as a whole has really grown over the last year or so. We've seen some tremendous fights, and Taylor Persoon 2 and Taylor Persoon 1 actually they were both fights that contributed to that. So shout out to both women, man. It was an amazing fight. But yeah, just my thoughts on it, man. I mean, it was a good card overall. The opening fight was good. I look forward to Babbage and Winters after that press conference. Babbage literally steamrolled him. And yeah, I thought Chris Kongo was very good as well. You know, he was very impressive. Hopefully we get a bit more consistency from him because he's got the talent. And I noticed he was wearing those Mayweather shorts in that fight. So he had to put up a good performance wearing those shorts. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the whole card, guys. Fight Camp Week 4. It's been a great month for Matchroom. I thought all of the Fight Camp shows have been very good. And it ended with a spectacular knockout win for Alexander Povetkin. So drop your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. Let me know what you think of the overall card itself. You know, the rematch between Persoon and Taylor, and the devastating knockout win by Povetkin. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, guys, and I'll catch you on the next video.